Welcome to Ed Fluential Sports, where passion meets precision. As I'm your host, Ed, diving deep into the plays, players, and stories shaping the game. And today, I'm here to talk about the MLV playoffs. And if you see me looking over, it's because I'm looking at my notebook, and then I'm not on my normal computer either. But the Major League Volleyball playoffs kicked off. Talked about it in my predictions, who I had winning. And so far, I'm winning one so far. So we'll see what happens in the title game. But four teams. There's 8 teams in the league, so 4 teams make the playoffs. Those 4 teams was the Indy Ignite, who are the 1 seed, and taking on the Omaha Supernovas, who are at 4. The Dallas Post, who are the 2 seed, and taking on the San Diego Mojo, who are 3. And higher seeds did have home court. I don't know if the championship was played on neutral site. I'm not sure. But let's get into these first round games, well, semifinals, because it's semifinals, then finals. So let's talk about that. And before we get to that, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, share the video, and comment as well. Comment your thoughts on the game as I'm going to get into it. First, and I'm going to start in order. So I'm going to start with the first game. Had the first seeded Indy Ignite taking on the Omaha Supernovas. Early in the game, Indy going like a 4-0 run. It wasn't to start the game because both teams had already scored a few points. So early into set one, they went on a 4-0 run. But Omaha, they turned the tables quickly, was able to tie it, and then eventually even take the lead. Then down the stretch, they did. Omaha ended up hitting 20 points first, and they ended up taking the first set 25-22. It was some really good rallies. I mean, throughout the game, not just this first set, but it was some amazing rallies throughout the night. But Omaha did take the first set by 3 points. And interesting enough, Omaha and Indy had split the season series, going 2-2 versus each other. So this was really up for grabs. Anybody could have took it. Indy had the most wins in MLV history with 23 this season. They were 23-5, but 2 of their losses did come against this team. So they also had 2 wins against them, so a 50% win percentage against each other. And then Omaha, like I've mentioned, first team to win they won the inaugural MLV championship. But at that point, Omaha they got a 1-0 lead. So then you get to the second set. Uh, both teams, um, both teams just trading points to start set two. That's really what it was throughout that set. Then Indy did break away in like the middle of the set to get ahead by a few points. Then they ended up winning that set 25-21. So it was similar. Just it was a 4 point difference instead of a 3 point difference like the previous set, but it was now 1-1. As so both teams was tied as we're going into set three. Then set three, super competitive, the most competitive set of the game. Both teams going back and forth. Some good rallies. Neither team can truly gain an edge. Some good blocks, some solid aces. Well, it wasn't that many aces. It was a few in the game, but definitely some good blocks. Especially Omaha had some really great blocks in this game. But then it was 22-22, like late set three. So it's like who's gonna be able to pull ahead, get the advantage. I still can figure that out because set three ended up going to extra points. It was 26-26 at one point, and then Indy ended up taking set three. They won it 29-27. Extra points. That's how a set goes past 20 because it went extra points. So the final score could have been 26-24, but it went beyond that. So it was both in the deep 20s, and Indy ended up taking it. And they trailed for a majority of that set, even though it was close. When they did, they never had the lead in that set up until they were up 28-27. Like they stayed in it, it stayed competitive, but they were only able to tie it so many times. And then once it got down to that crucial point, they were finally able to win the set by 2. And then you go into the fourth. So now they have a 2-1 lead. They done won back-to-back sets. Then you had some great blocks by Omaha to open the fourth set, and Omaha played really well. Great job getting the ball over the net, hitting to their teammates. Then Omaha will win the fourth set 25-20, and now it's tied 2-2 in sets. So now it's down to the fifth set. These teams 2-2 against each other in the regular season, and then in the playoffs, 1 game elimination. It's a tie set, 2 apiece. So it comes down to this final set. It's the playoffs, win or go home. That's what it came down to. So you couldn't ask for anything better, especially with this being the game to open up the day of the 2 games, and then the history they've had versus each other. I think Omaha has a 1 advantage lead over them in the seasons they played against each other. Well, I kind of forgot about that. Well, it's 2 now because they would end up winning this. Omaha won in 5 sets. They upset the Indy Ignite, And the way they did it was super impressive. Indy had a 3-point lead because set 5 goes to just 15 points. They were up 8-5, so it wasn't nothing crazy, but it was still like they were in charge of the game. And then Omaha, they battled back. They ended up tying the game. Then they ended up taking the lead, and they won 15-13. Set didn't go to extra points. In Omaha ended up winning by 2 points in set 3. So a season series that was tied 2-2. This was Indy Ignite's kryptonite because they didn't split the season series with anybody else. All the other losses they had came in series that they won 3-1. They didn't lose a series. Like I said, the worst they were in a season series was 2-2 against this Omaha team. They just had their number tonight. They played well. They were able to battle back in that final set. They go 3-2 versus Indy on the season. A very successful season for Omaha. If Omaha would have lost, it would have been disappointing. But this is an impressive season because you started like 3-0, then you went cold, then you were able to bounce back, make the playoffs, sneak in by a couple of games, and now you just upset the 1 seed and have a chance to win it. And this is the third straight year in the MLV. The MLV is in its third season. All 3 years, the first seed has lost. Well, they haven't won the championship. I think in the first year, the first seed went to the finals, but all 3 years, the first seed is yet, or I think the first seed is yet to go to the finals. I could be wrong about that. I had to fact check that, matter of fact. But the first seed, they haven't won. That's just what it's been. Like the first seed hasn't won the championship in the MLV, and it's crazy because it was last year. Last year Omaha was the first seed, and Orlando won it. And then in 2024, Atlanta was the first seed, and Omaha won it. So the first seed is yet to win a championship, and I don't know if the first seed has advanced out the first round. And so I just paused the video so I could fact check what I was saying. The first seed is yet to advance out the first round in the MLV. And 3 years into the league, and the first seed has not advanced past the semifinals. So that's a crazy stat. Obviously, it's still early on, but that's just a crazy stat to think about. But now, with that being said, I can talk about the second game, which was the number 2 Dallas Pulse, taking on number 3 San Diego Mojo. This was a good game too. Wasn't as good as the first one, but the first set, both teams reached 20 early, like competitive early on. You're thinking this is gonna be one for the ages, thinking it's gonna be a crazy game, and it was crazy, but not for the reasons you would think. But it was 23-23. So, and the first set even went to extra points. And this was a long set too. Like it went past the third set of the first game. It went extra points because the Mojo will win this one 30-28. They took the first set 30-28, won by 2. Crazy set. They got to end up winning that, having to go to 30. So this was insane. Great intensity. Both teams played well to start the game. And then in the second set, you get some really good rallies from both teams. But Dallas, they able to break away late. Like once they got that lead, they stayed in control, stayed in charge of the game, and they end up winning 25-18 in set 2. So it's tied now. Both teams took one set at this point, and Dallas, they got all the momentum going into set 3, and they carried that momentum into set 3, and they would end up winning set 3, 25-17. The Mojo, once again, it was where they broke away late. And the Mojo just, not even late, it was like middle of the set when Dallas was able to break away. And then the Mojo just looked out of it. They looked tired, looked fatigued, didn't look like they could keep up with Dallas. Like Dallas clearly outmatched them and out-talented them in back-to-back sets and overall as a team throughout the season. And now they have a 2-1 set lead and just need one more set to get the win, while the Mojo are trying to battle back, and they have no momentum. Have scored under 20 in back-to-back sets after scoring 30 in the first set. So it seemed, but you can't say it was due to energy because Dallas also had 28. So both teams won extra points in that first set. And then the second set, not the second set, the fourth set. I just talked about the second and third. The fourth set, Dallas, they got the lead, like I said, two sets to 1 going into it. Dallas dominated the fourth set. Like it's not even too much I can say about the fourth set because of how dominant it was. They led 22-6 at one point. They barely had double digits. It was 24-7, 17-point lead. That was the largest margin of. That was the largest lead that Dallas had in this game, leading by 17. Like you was thinking, there's no way they don't finish with double-digit points at least. San Diego will go on to score 3 straight points to make it 24-10 to make the deficit look a lot better, but then they will close it. Dallas ended up closing it. They won 25-10 in the fourth set. But it's like to be down 17 in the most important set of the game where you're already trailing, and then you score three straight, like it's gonna make a difference. It doesn't matter. You're not gonna score like what you need, 18, 19 straight points to make it a tie game. That wasn't gonna happen. So Dallas won in 4 sets, just a super dominant game. Uh, I just forgot. I didn't think I mentioned the stats of the first game. So I'm gonna go back to the first game real quick, and then now I'm gonna stay on this game. Then I'll go back to the stats for the other game. But Sophie Malonda Diaz was player of the game for Dallas. She had 25 points, 52 total attacks, 7 blocks, 21 kills, and 18 digs. Had a phenomenal game. One of the best players in the MLV. This is why I had her in the top 10. I forget where I had her in the top 10 other players going into the playoffs, but she was phenomenal in this game. And then they got the win. They're going to be taking on the Omaha Supernovas in the championship. Then for San Diego, Grace Loberg, she had 14 points, 38 total attacks, 4 blocks, 13 kills, and 10 digs. Wasn't enough. She did what she could, had a good game, but it just simply wasn't enough. San Diego, like I said, that fourth set was really bad. Like scoring 18, 17, it's still not great, still not the greatest, but it's like at least you tried to compete. In the fourth set, they didn't even look like they were trying to compete. Then to go back to the first game because I got stuck on the first seed and made it out the semifinals. For the Indy Ignite, Lydia Martin, she had 19 points, 25 total attacks, 12 digs, no, 12 kills, 10 blocks, and 3 digs. She had a really good game. Her blocking was fantastic in that game. She did all that she could. They kept it competitive. Like I said, they just lost in 5 sets to a team that was able to compete with them all season. And then for Omaha, Sarah Parsons, player of the game, um, absolutely amazing. 20 points, 55 total attacks, 17 kills, 6 blocks, 8 digs. She did her thing. She was a beast out there on the court last night. So now we got the number 2 Dallas Pulse taking on the number 4 Omaha Supernovas. Um, to make my predictions for that, since I won't have time to do it really, since I'm gonna be working a lot the next 2 days. To make my predictions for that, uh, it's a toss up to be honest. But I hope it goes 5 sets. We seen a 5 set and a 4 set game today. Hopefully it's not 3 sets. I would hate to see a sweep, but whatever happens, happens. But I'm gonna go for Dallas though, because Mimi Collier, she's one of my favorite players in the MLV. I think she's the best player in the MLV this season, and she'll be MVP. But yeah, I'm going for Dallas. I hope they win. But if Omaha won it, then I think you can make. If Omaha wins it, that gives me a good video to make on how they're the best team in MLV history. So obviously it's just 3 seasons in, so it's still early, but we'll see. So yeah, with that being said, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, comment your thoughts, and share for others to see.